the way, that is one of the ways, no? Kay there are two man, how we locate and how we describe the image formed in curved mirrors. Another disclaimer, in reality, do not be frustrated, no? Ayaw ka frustrate o ayaw ka depress nga dili ing ani ka perfect ang inyuhang kuan. Kay mura siya one of my students in grade 10 harmony nga mura daw siya picture sa Lazada versus picture sa pag-abot nimo sa imong order, which is lahi siya. So in reality, your output is not as perfect as what you see on the screen. Nga naman, because we have a lot of factors to consider. Your equipment or your materials, tapos human error, and many more. Or daghan pa nga mga conditions. So, in reality, your output is not as perfect as what you see on the screen. So, if we will meet na, synchronous, ano na siya, like kanang tawag nito, there are many points there, but if we try to check ano kanang the mathematical method, so you have to choose na lang kung asa ang mas kuan, asa ang mas duol-duol, okay? Asa ang mas duol-duol dinhi asa ako ang gi-show sa inyo ha karon. Again, in your output, do not be frustrated. Your output is not as perfect as what you see on the screen, but choose a point kung daghan sila nga linya nga nag-intersect, daghan kaayo nag-intersect. So choose a point nga almost the same sa ako ang gi-show here on the screen. 3. Kanina, that is case 2, which is object found before C. Right now, I'm going to show you how to do the ray method for case 3, which is object found on C. We are still using the same materials and the same measurement. Okay, first step, you get your bond paper, and then you fold your bond paper lengthwise and crosswise. Same step, just like before. After folding, you put your bond paper on your table in portrait mode. Ay, sorry, landscape mode pala. Landscape mode, and then you get your ruler and your pencil, then you trace the lines. So tracing the horizontal line, like this, and then you put there P, or you label it P as our principal line. Again, remember, all of the lines and points that you will see on the screen are all exaggerated for emphasis. In reality, you have to do it as thin as possible. Next, tracing the vertical line, you label it as our normal line. And you have their vertex. So same lang gihapon. Then, same lang gihapon, we use, you measure 6 centimeters from your normal line, and then you put there, or you label it as our center. After that, you get the midpoint of the center, which is midpoint of 6 is 3, and you label that as our focus. And remember, if focus is the midpoint, so the measurement from V to F should be 3 centimeters, and the measurement should from F to C should also be 3 centimeters. Remember that your output should look like this. You don't necessarily need to put all of the brackets and the measurement, as long as it's as long as it's accurate. And the points and the lines again should be as thin as possible. Object. Okay. This time, you get your compass gihapon, same lang. You get your compass, and then you put the sharp part of the compass to your C, and then the pencil part to your V. After Okay, so your output should look like this. Remember, you don't necessarily need to put sa tawag ni, the brackets and the measurement. So your output should look like this. Next, you get your compass, And then you position your compass or the sharp part of your compass on your C, and you position the pencil part of your compass on your vertex, and you trace a half a circle like this. Okay, and remember that this is the front part of your mirror, and this is the back part of your mirror. In this case, since case number 3 Romancia, so we have to put our object on C and also measure the same height. So in this case, the height of our object is still 3 centimeters. So this time, I'm gonna change the mood into a black one. And it should look like this. Same gihapon, we will use 4 rays which are naka-color coded na siya. Okay, so again, what you will see on the screen or what you see on the screen right now, they are all exaggerated for emphasis. Do not forget that in reality, you have to do it as thin as possible. Okay? And then, we have here the different kuan na rays. Okay, you get your ruler and your pencil. So ray 1, which is in yellow, do not forget that your object is represented by a thin arrow with a thin arrowhead. Ayaw kalimot ana. So ray 1, same lang gihapon. All of the lines or all of the rays should always start at the top part of your object. Ray 1 will hit your mirror parallel to your principal line, and it will look like this. Okay? And then it will reflect through the focus, and it will look like this. So do not forget the arrowhead, ha? Do not forget the arrowhead here. Again, ray 1, it will hit your mirror parallel to your principal line, and it will reflect through the focus. So all of the rays that I presented to you kanina, same lang karon. Same lang put in the future and in the other cases. Next, ray 2. Here, for the ray 2, same lang gihapon. You start at the top part of your object, and then you hit your vertex, and it will look like this. After that, you get your protractor, and same kanina, you measure this angle here, and whatever the value of your angle here, you measure another sa baba. So example, this time, let's say 30. So if the angle here is 30 degrees, you measure another 30 degrees sa baba because ray 2 will reflect with the same angle like this. Next, for ray 3, just like what I emphasized a while ago, ray 3 is the kabaliktaran of ray 4, meaning it will hit your mirror through the focus muna. So muagi sa siya sa focus like this. Okay? And do not forget that your line should always start at the top part of your object. And then, it will hit your mirror through the focus muna. You have to put the arrowhead, and then it will reflect parallel to your principal line like this. Ayon. So in that case, we can see na the point where all of these 3 lines intersect with each other. And for the last one, for ray 4, you may or you may not include ray 4 in this case. Nga naman, because naara man pud siya sa C. Diba? The object is on C, then ang ray 4 moagi sa C, you may or you may not include that. Anyway, in reality or in any other authors, they presented that the ray method requires a minimum of 2 rays only. So ana lang siya. But in this case, I presented to you 4. Okay? So I think wala na nako gi-include din niya ang ray 4. Okay. So just like last time, in this case, the lines here at the koan, at the top part of your object intersect. So that is the point where we can locate our object or ang iyaha pong height, no? Here, nag-intersect pud ang mga reflected rays. So we have here same arrow with an arrowhead, but this time broken lines na siya to represent our image. So this is now our image. Object and image. Remember, kung asa nag-intersect ang mga lines, didto makit-an or dihaa ang head sa imuhang image. Padulong dinhiya sa imong principal line. Remember again and again, do not be frustrated, do not be depressed if your output is not as perfect as what you see on the screen. Kasi nga, there are many factors to consider. But if there are many points, no, daghan og nag-intersect din you have to choose na lang the point nga duol-duol sa unsa ang nakita ninyo sa screen right now. Okay? You have to choose kung unsa ang mas duol ani. Okay? So again always start at the top part and the intersected part, and remember to check everything. Kay basin na pangit sa nalain ninyong output tungod kay naamoy nakaligtaan nga step sa ato ang kukuan, sa ato ang gi present karon lang. Okay? So, this time I want you to describe the image. Pero, in this case, describing the image, I will not show the the answer here. You have to describe the image nga kamo na lang. Okay? So, this will end the non-graded part. If you have questions, I can I can accommodate them in our next topic. Or next meeting, in our next meeting. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. So please describe the image, review all of the steps, and then what you see on the screen are all exaggerated points and lines. Do not forget that. In reality, you have to do it as thin as possible. And then, do not be frustrated kung dili siya ingani ka-exact ang inyong output. You simply need to choose which point nga medyo duol-duol sa inyong nakita karon sa screen. Okay? So, thank you so much.